Hello, this is Mrs. Neubauer, and let's work on our penmanship. I just wanted to let you know, fellow penmen and penwomen, that I'm only friends with 25 letters, and I don't know why. That's my joke. All right. Lesson goal for number 14 is to write the last of the uppercase letters. We got letters V through Z. We only have 5 to do today and not 7, so that's a nice way to end our uppercase. And we don't have one curve in it. All straight, vertical, horizontal, and diagonals lines. Okay, so let's go over, show you the last of the letters. So definitely lots of diagonals with V's and W's. So if you recall when we did lowercase, the V had a sharper angle. I'm sorry, the W had a sharper angle. W, X's, we got 2 diagonals, and our Y, it's a little different than our lowercase y. The lowercase y had a curve. And our Z, just like our lowercase letter Z. So some of them, you're just making them bigger. Some of them are new. Okay? All right, so make sure you're still giving me L. Give me L all the time you're writing. I'm going to have nice posture, as we call it, when we write. We don't have any bad habits when we start off. Head straight back, neck straight back, and arms resting flat on your desk. Make sure you have your pen. I always like to write with pen because it's permanent. That way I have to do a good time, I can't erase it. You have number 14, uppercase capitals, V, W, X, Y, Z. The last one, woohoo, we made it. Trace over your letters by staying in the lines, and we're going to try some on your own. Okay, so just like we've been doing when we did our M, we did the V in the middle. So you start with your diagonal down, when you touch the baseline bottom, all the way back up. And you try to do it the same kind of angle. Just like we've been doing, we're going to trace my 5. Sometimes there's only 4 because sometimes there's 3. The paper, the letters take so much width, the paper is going to run out. So I want to make sure you're doing some more on your own than just tracing mine. Remember, when we trace, we're creating muscle memory. We're not cheating, as they say. It's a good way to learn how to do things when you trace, especially starting off. You're creating fine motor skills. Easier to control your pen. You're not going to have shaky lines, creating those finger muscles, hand muscles, arm muscles. Good. All right, so let's slow it down because you're going to try some on your own. Diagonal down to the bottom baseline, and without lifting your pen, all the way back up. So if you did it correctly, it should look pretty symmetrical in the center. Good. So you're going to continue on your V's all the way to the end. If you'd like to do that now, you can pause the video, such as you've been doing, or do it after we're done with our lesson. So W is almost like an M. Remember, M was just a straight line, where W does the diagonals. So basically, once you get started at the top, you're going to work from the top down to the bottom. From the bottom back up to the top, top to the bottom, bottom back up to the top. All right, we have 4 for our W. First stroke down, second stroke up, third stroke down, fourth stroke up. All diagonals. Just like we did for our lowercase w, just making it big, big, big. So far, our letters have not changed from lowercase. V is the same, W is the same. Good. Okay, we only had 3 to trace there because of the width of them. All right, so you're going to go down to the bottom, diagonal to the top, diagonal down to the bottom, diagonal to the top. And then remember it's a double V, not a double U. So the 2 V's are coming together to make your double U. Hopefully they're about the same. And then as you get better, you definitely are going to get better at making them. Okay, so you're going to continue your W's now or at the end of the lesson. X is the same, you're just making it bigger. Instead of using the dashed line to the bottom, you're using the top line to the bottom. So diagonal down, and then the diagonal back up. So hopefully, if you do it correctly, they're going to cross in the center on the dashed line. Diagonal down, diagonal up. Good. Diagonal down, up. Yes, keep tracing. You're probably getting really good with these diagonals. You did them for your warm-ups and for your circle and letter stem practice too. So the better your practice, the more you practice, the better it'll get. Easier it'll get on handling your pen. Okay, so let's slow it down. Try one on your own. Down, touch the bottom. Now, basically you want to go where you began, go down to the bottom. Oops. Try not to lower your pen just yet and then go back to the top. We're trying to create it so those would be equal, but that's the goal, I guess. Diagonal down, estimate, diagonal up, cross in the dotted line. Good. X. Okay, the only letter today that is not like its lowercase letter is Y. Why must Y be different? Just kidding. Okay, so first of all, we have our diagonal down, just like we did with our lowercase x. Then you're going to go from the dashed line, you're going to go back up on a diagonal, go back to the center where they meet, and vertical line down. Okay, so Y, second to the last letter of the alphabet, down, meet at the dashed, all the way up. Go from where they meet and go all the way to the bottom. All right, so continue tracing the Y. And basically, you're doing different letter strokes and stems and interchanging them to make your letters. It's pretty amazing. Learning how to print. Okay. Trace over the Y's. And now you have to try some on your own. Okay, so give yourself a little space. A diagonal down to the dashed, diagonal up to the top, come back to the middle, and vertical line to the bottom baseline. Nice. Okay, you can continue doing your Y's to the end, or you can do it at the end of our lesson. All right, we have Z, last one. Z, Z, Z. Okay. So Z has 3 letter strokes, 2 horizontals and a diagonal. So basically you're going to go to the right, nice straight line. From there you're going to go diagonal down. And then from there you're going to do the same width of your horizontal. So 1, 2, 3, Z, sleeping, C, Z, down, and all the way over. So if you did it correctly, this diagonal would be equal, so it almost makes like a rectangle. You're using a rectangle box. They use that for when people sleep. They put Z's on cartoons and stuff like that, right? Z for sleeping. Getting your Z's. All right, so trace over my Z's, get that muscle memory. Okay, last Z to trace for this lesson, last letter. Yes, okay. And now try one on your own, so give yourself some space. horizontal line over, diagonal down. Kind of have to eyeball it to see how, and that's why we're practicing. You're not going to be perfect your first time writing a letter. You're going to practice, practice, practice. It's all about progress anyways, not perfection. Okay, so you do have 2 lines left. You wanted to maybe write your name in all uppercase. So you have some practice there. Usually we don't write our name in uppercase, but sometimes just the first letters are uppercase. So what you're going to continue working on is just filling up the rows. If you feel like you need more, you can always get out your paper, usually notebook paper. You can see you could trace over a letter they were having a hard time with, continue to trace, or you can just try writing some on your own. It's up to you, and just use the 2 lines to help. All right, I feel like we accomplished our goal. Remember, our goal for lesson 14 was to write the uppercase letters V through Z. It's actually the last of our uppercase, so we accomplished a lot of goals through our lessons. And continue to keep practicing, and remember, it's progress over perfection. All right, see you later.